Hi guys, Kevin, Property Soldier here. Now, one of the things that you should do when you are starting your service accommodation business, and it might sound a little bit weird, is check out your competition, because you can learn an awful lot from checking out your competition, and that's exactly what I have done last night. Okay, so I'll explain. I'm in Plymouth, and the green property, it's not going to stay green for long with all the scaffolding outside. We are turning that into what is called an apartment hotel or an apart hotel. So turning all of the rooms into studios by effectively putting kitchenettes in them so that they are self-contained, and therefore you don't have to continue doing B&B, providing breakfast, etc., and therefore you don't need the owner's accommodation, you don't need the kitchen, don't need a dining room, the lounge, all that stuff. So you make that into studio rooms as well, and maximise the commercial value of the property, because obviously you're able to earn a lot more money from it, and you don't have to be doing bacon and eggs in the morning. So that's pretty cool. Now then, so last night we clearly didn't stay in that one with the scaffolding, and we stayed in the one next door, which is looking a little bit nicer. And so here's the thing, you can learn an awful lot from your competitors, because let's face it, once this property is done, and once this property is converted and live, then next door is going to effectively be the nearest competition to us. And so what you need to do is, I'm going to cross the road and move away from the property, because the owners of that place are probably listening out the window, listening to what I'm up to. But what you do is you find out how your competitors are operating. So what are their systems when you book their property? How easy is it to communicate with them? How easy is it to pay? Do you have to sign terms and conditions? All of that type of stuff. What is their payment policy in terms of how long before checking in have you got to be able to cancel the booking? So actually we needed to test that, because it turns out that we weren't able to stay tonight in Plymouth. So we actually found out whether or not they would cancel the second night and refund us that, and they said no, even though actually it wasn't in their terms and conditions, their payment policy wasn't clear, and they blamed it on booking.com and said, oh, you have to go through booking.com. So we approached booking.com really actually just to find out exactly what the situation was, and booking.com said, let me contact the owners and we will ask the owners, and then they got back to us and said that the owners had said no, so wouldn't do it. So you've got to ask yourself, under that circumstance, I've said in previous videos that your reviews are really important. So if you do something like that with a guest, actually you're risking getting a bad review, and that can cost you more money in terms of future bookings from future people, because people can be quite spiteful. Now clearly we're not going to go leaving a bad review on our competitors' listing, and so we are just going to obviously take that one on the chin, and I can't blame them. Now, but here is the better way of dealing with it. If you explain to your guest that the room has been blocked because they had it booked, and if they go cancelling it now, then it might cost them money, but what they can do, or what you can do, is say, I will make it available, so I'll open it up on the calendar, make it available, and if somebody books it, then absolutely we will refund you your money for that second night, something like that. And that is fair enough, isn't it? That is going to make the guest feel a lot happier and feel that it is a fair situation. So that's just a key learning on how to deal with guests that are asking for refunds, etc., etc. So you can just handle it that way. But what else have we learnt by staying in the property? So it gets good reviews, and the lady that's dealing with guests, she's good. And as far as B&Bs are concerned, it is nice, and it's not tied and dated like most guest house B&Bs are. So clearly that wouldn't have been the type of one that we'd be looking to acquire, because you've got to spend a lot of money on something that is already in a decent state. So clearly we bought one that wasn't in a decent state, because we've got to rip it out and gut it anyway. So absolutely, we've learned a bit about the competition, and we know that what we are going to be offering our guests is going to be of a higher standard, and that's the important thing, let's face it, at the end of the day. Now clearly you've got the whole of Plymouth to compete with, but we have learned about our nearest competitor. So hope you found that useful. I might get the hard hat on later and get into the property, because there's been lots of work going on. It's been quite funny actually. Through the walls of the guest house that we're staying in, we can hear all the drilling and banging going on. So our builders are disturbing the guests of next door. A bit embarrassing, awkward, but there you go. But yes, I'll get the hard hat on and go and have a look inside and see how the guys are getting on with this refurb. So it's nice to actually see and hear lots of work going on, and I'll do another video later. So hopefully that was useful, everybody. Here's to your service accommodation success, and remember, your future needs you. Speak to you soon. Any comments, stick them in the thread. I will answer those later on when people are watching this on replay, etc. You know the drill. Speak to you soon. Take care.